Hello, good morning, everyone. I would like to welcome all of y'all to the course, which is Python for Data Science. So, we're going to be starting off with our very first module today, which is Introduction to Python. So, the agenda of this particular course is that we are going to start off with Python introduction. So, everyone, firstly, I would like to welcome all of you all to this module. Okay, we have gone through the objectives in the previous video. We have also gone through the goals of this particular course. So now today we're going to be diving into the fantastic world of Python programming, where you are a complete beginner, or let's say you're looking to expand your programming skills. This particular agenda that you see on the screen will cover key aspects to get you started on your Python journey. So we're going to be starting off with the Python introduction. We will understand what is Python, where it is used, what are the advantages of it, what are the disadvantages of it, and then we will be looking at installation. So installation and IDE. So we will begin by ensuring that we have installed Python. We're going to visit a particular URL which is called as python.org. We're going to download the latest version, and then we're going to follow the installation instructions. For coding adventure, we'll also need an integrated development environment, or also known as IDE. So popular choices for IDEs are PyCharm, there's VS Code, there's Spider, and there's Jupyter Notebook, etc. So we can choose, the one that suits you the best. So we're also going to look into the introduction of Jupyter Notebook, one of the most popular IDEs, and then we're going to look into variables. Okay, so before that, when we're going to explore the Jupyter notebooks, so just to give you all an idea about what this is. So it's a very powerful tool for integrating interactive computing. So Jupyter supports live code, equations, visualizations, and even narrative text. So making it an excellent choice for data analysis as well as collaborative coding. So we'll just touch on the basics and see how it enhances your coding experience. Going on, further, we will be using Jupyter Notebook or any other IDE of your choice. You can use it. And also, we're going to be looking at variables. So everyone, what is a variable? Variables like are building blocks of any programming language. So they help you store, manage your data in your programs, okay, or in the script that you write. So Python is a dynamically typed language, meaning that you don't have to declare a variable explicitly. You don't have to write a keyword. So we are going to dive into the basics of variable declaration as well as usages. Then we're going to be looking at collection of variables. So as we progress, we'll explore different data types like integers, floats, strings, list, tuples, and dictionary. We will understand, these data types and how to work with, collections of variables. So this is very important. So you need to know different data types so that you can pick the right, type for your use case. We're going to be looking into looping statements. What is a looping statement? Looping a statement is, looping basically allows you to repeat a block of code. Okay, instead of writing lines of code, you can use for loop, while loop, or switch statements. So this is a powerful concept that enhances your efficiency in your programs. Lastly, we're going to be looking at conditional statements. So conditional statements are our way of adding, decision-making capabilities into your code. So we will cover the basics of if, and else statements. So allowing our, programs to take a different path based on a certain condition. Next up, let's dive into our first slide here, which is what is Python. Okay, so everyone, before we understand what is Python, what are the different applications, let's firstly understand who was the creator of Python. So Guido van Rossum, he is a Dutch programmer. He was best known as the creator of Python programming language, for which he was the benevolent dictator of life until he stepped down from his position in July 2018. So a little bit about Van Rossum is that he was born and he was raised in Netherlands, where he, received a master's degree in mathematics and computer science from the University of Amsterdam. And about the name Python, so there's a fun fact behind choosing the name Python. So Guido van Rossum, the creator of the language, okay, he was like reading the script of a very popular BBC, comedy series, which was called as Monty Python's Flying Circus, which was on air in the late 1970s. So Van Rossum wanted to select a name that was a bit more mysterious. So he decided to select a naming, Python after a comedy series. Interesting, right? Like, which was very creative, fun, as well as unpredictable. So you can, look up the show. It was released in 1990. Now, coming back to Python. So Python is a programming language which has multiple different features. So you can see that its first feature is that it is a multi-purpose programming language. Okay, multi-purpose programming language meaning that Python can be used on a server to create web applications. It can be used, Python can be used alongside of softwares to create workflows. It can be used in the field of mathematics, like Python can be used to handle big data as well as perform complex mathematics. Python can also be used, in databases. Python can be used for rapid typing or for, production ready softwares. Also, it is a high level language. Let's understand the meaning of this high level language. So everyone, Python is a very high level language because its syntax closely resembles to the English language. So high level language means that more readability to humans and less readability to computers. So likewise, level means that less readability for humans and more readability for computers. So because Python is a high level and therefore highly readable, it's a great language, okay, to learn as a beginner. However, there are some drawbacks too of it being a high level language. Next up is that another feature is that Python is readable for human, which we just discussed. Modularized and packages. So modularity, what does modularity mean? So it refers to the act of partitioning the code into modules, okay, building them first, followed by linking and finally combining them to form like a complete project. So modularity, okay, that is offered by Python basically ensures reusability as well as tries to minimize the duplication of code. Okay, so a module in Python is nothing but a file containing Python definitions followed by methods and statements for a particular task. Also, Python has multiple different packages. So Python has, an official, software. It has an official repository of software packages, which is called as Python package index. Okay, and the Python package index currently it houses over 100,000 packages with over 3,000 of those packages which are related to automation. So most packages can easily be installed using a pip command, and it has extensive libraries. So Python libraries are set, they are actually a set of useful functions, that eliminate the need for writing code from scratch. So there are over 13700 Python libraries present today. So Python libraries, they play a vital role in developing machine learning, data science, data visualization, image, and even manipulation, applications, and more and more. Also, a few examples of libraries that we will be using here. It is pandas, numpy, matplotlib. Okay, so this is like a it is actually a very comprehensive library for creating static, animated, and even interactive visualizations in Python. And Panda stands for Python data analysis. Okay, it is like a must in any data science lifecycle. It is like the most popular and the widely used Python library for data science. And Python has an amazing community. This is another Python feature that Python community is vast, it is diverse, and it aims to grow each other. Like the developers community, or the developers community, user base it's very enthusiastic, and it is also dedicated to spreading the use of language far and wide. So Python community can help support the beginners, the experts, or even add to the the ever increasing open source knowledge base. Also, there are a few platforms where you can find the Python community online. So a few examples are Stack Overflow. Okay, so Stack Overflow is like the leading community for developers where people ask questions, and people are basically able to ask and answer programming related questions. Like more than 21 million questions have been asked, and more than 31 million answers have been provided, and more than 80 million comments have been made on this platform. All you have to do is navigate a URL, which is stackoverflow.com, select join community, give the display name, and then use there are technology tags that you're interested in, so definitely pick Python. Okay, and then after picking tags, it will help you to show you much more relevant question and answers. Also, there is another community which is called as Python Weekly, Python Discord, PySlackers community, etc. Now, as we all know that Python is a programming language with diverse and extremely useful features. Python has its use apart from web development. There are a number of use cases, like it's used in IoT, data analysis, machine learning, and artificial intelligence and automation work. Now, let's understand the let's understand Python's role in data analysis. Okay, so firstly, data exploration. So Python provides a powerful library like pandas for data manipulation as well as exploration. So it allows an analyst to understand the structure of their data set. It helps you to identify patterns and then gain insights. Okay, so imagine you have a large data set, okay, which contains information about customer transactions. So pandas can help you quickly explore the data, summarize some key statistics, and then identify the trends or the patterns. So this is how Python can help you, okay? And then there is data visualization. So Python, there's another library which is called as a matplotlib, and there is Seaborn. Okay, both of them facilitate creating insightful visualizations. Okay, so visualization is it's actually very critical for representing complex data in a more understandable as well as a more accessible format. So you can use matplotlib. You can create a histogram to visualize the distribution of a product sale in a retail data set, helping the shareholders of the company to quickly grasp the sales pattern. Also about the statistical analysis. So there's a library, okay, in Python which is called as SkyPython, okay, and also it is called as stats models. Okay, this provides statistical functions for hypothesis testing, for regression analysis, and more. So Python actually supports robotic statistical analysis for making data-driven decisions. So you can basically use SkyPy to actually conduct a test on two sets of data to determine if there is a significant difference in the means, providing the statistical evidence for your decision making. We also have machine learning and predictive modeling. So Python's another library, which is called as scikit-learn, is widely used for machine learning tasks. So it basically enables, building models for classification, regression, clustering, and so on. So suppose you want to create like a customer's, churn in a subscription service. Scikit learns about you to, it actually allows you to build a predictive model using the historical data to identify potential churn factors. Also, we have time series analysis. So Python, along with libraries like stats models and Panda, it supports time series analysis. So this is crucial for understanding as and also for forecasting trends in sequential data. For example, let's say you want to analyze, like, the stock prices over time using what you can do is basically you can use pandas, and you can basically help investors identify patterns and make informed decisions based on historical market behavior. We also have interactive data analysis, like using Jupyter Notebook, you can enable, interactive data analysis. So they basically combine code, visualization, and even a narrative text. It provides actually the Jupyter Notebook. It provides like an excellent platform for a very iterative exploration. So collaborative, analyzing survey data can be used in Jupyter Notebook, which allows team members to basically interactively explore responses, visualize trends, and even have an up-to-date code in real time. We have data reporting and communication. So Python supports the creation of dynamic reports using tools like Jupyter Notebook, R Markdown, or even libraries like Plotly for interactive dashboards. So let's say you can generate a Jupyter Notebook report containing dynamic visualization. It basically helps with communicating key findings to a non-technical stakeholder very efficiently. Also, it have Python, integration with big data. So Python actually integrates seamlessly with big data technologies like Apache Spark through libraries such as PySpark. So this allows handling as well as analyzing large-scale data sets. Okay, so basically analyzing. Let's say you have to analyze a massive amount of log data from a web application using PySpark. This allows you to identify patterns, anomalies, and even provide, system performance. And the last 2 points here, which is cross-platform compatibility. So Python is cross-platform, meaning that code written in one operating system can run on the other without any modification. So this ensures flexibility and even ease of development. So developing a machine learning model on a Windows machine and also deploying it on a Linux server seamlessly is actually instigated using Python's cross-platform capability. And lastly, we have community and resources. So Python has a vibrant and supportive community. We just spoke about it. Okay, it has forums and open source contribution, and it makes it very easy for the users to find help as well as resources. So they can always leverage forums like Stack Overflow, and also collaborating on GitHub projects, etc. So I already mentioned the multiple different platforms that are available. Now, moving ahead, let's speak about Python installation. So everyone, firstly, for Python installation, let me just take you all through these steps. Okay, firstly, let me just explain you all, and then we will do a demo. So to download Python, you need to visit the official Python website. Okay, and on the Python website, you need to locate the downloads tab. Okay, this is usually very prominently displayed, and then you have to look for a suitable version on Python. Okay, the version is recommended for general use as it includes, the latest features, bug fixes, and security updates. You can click download for your operating system. So Python supports various operating systems like Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. Click on the download link. Okay, it will start downloading. If you're using Windows, you might be presented with an option to choose between 32 bits or even 64 bits, but most of the users just install the default one, which is suitable. Then also what you need to do is you need to once you have downloaded it, you need to verify the installation by accessing Python. Okay, so so that is one, okay, which is downloading Python. Next, we have platform specific installation. So what does this mean? Okay, so Python is cross-platform language, meaning that it can be installed on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. So whenever there are a few points that you need to keep in mind. Okay, so Windows, whenever you are downloading it on Windows, you need to select a particular option which is called as adding Python to the system path. Okay, so on Windows, okay, during the installation process, there's an option which says add Python to path. So this adds the Python executable file to the system's path variable, allowing users to run Python commands from any command prompt without specifying the full length to the Python execute. Okay, and not adding Python to a path may require users to navigate to the Python, installation directory every time they want to run the Python script or command, which is very inconvenient. Next, it is Mac OS consideration. Another consideration is that the firstly, you know that Mac OS comes with a system installed version of Python. However, using the version of the development may lead to issues as it is essential for the system's operation. Also, you need to use a virtual environment, okay, also known as VEN, a virtual LEN. So, to create an isolated Python environment for your project. This ensures dependencies do not interfere with the system installed Python, okay, and it will help manage you with project specific packages also. And lastly, about Linux, okay, you need to install Python using Python package managers, okay. So using these package managers ensures that the installed Python version is compatible with the distribution and also allows for a easy update and maintenance. So these are a few these are a few so that you need to keep in mind. Okay, and lastly, another a few general tips is that you always have to refer to the official Python documentation for platform specific installation details and troubleshooting, and also. You have to use a virtual environment in Python development, irrespective of your operating system, to maintain a project-related dependency. So by addressing these platform specific, concerns, you will be actually, you'll actually be better equipped to navigate the installation process on Windows, Mac OS, and even Linux while understanding the importance of the best practice for each platform. Now let's look into the Python installation demo. Let me just quickly share this window on the screen. So everyone about, downloading Python, all you have to do is you have to type Python download, and you will see you will see a link which is python.org. Okay, and you will see download Python here. Just click on this, and there will be download the latest version for Python. So if you're looking for a specific version or a different OS, you can click here. You can click on the different OS here. But I want to just download the latest version. So you can click on download Python 3.12.1, and you can see here that it's been downloaded. So when I'm going to click on it, we will see that it has already been installed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly uninstall it and install it again. I'm just going to uninstall Python so that we can see the process of how we need to install it. I'm just going to wait. So everyone, I've just uninstalled Python here. Okay, so that I can just install it again and show you how we can use the different options. So I'm going to click on download Python. So you can see here that it has been downloaded. Now I am going to click on it and you can see here that I have installed Python 3.12.1. Now, if you see that there is an option, there's a checkbox which says add Python executable to path. So I'm going to check this box and click on install now, and I'm going to wait for the installation to complete. And once the installation is complete, we are what we're going to do is we're going to check if Python was installed or not. So everyone, as you can see here, that Python has been successfully downloaded. So let's check if this was downloaded or installed correctly on our system or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my command prompt. Okay. So after I have navigated to my command prompt, all you have to do is you have to go and search command prompt. And after that, you can right click it and run it as an administrator. Or what you can do is you can just open it. Any of it works. So here what I am going to do is you have to just write Python first. So once you write Python, what is going to happen is that it is going to, let me just write it down and show it to you again. So I'm just opening the command prompt, right clicking on it, and going to select run as administrator. Right now you all cannot see it, uh, but I hope you all can see the command prompt. So in the command prompt, I'm just going to type Python, and you can see that I have been directed to the Python, terminal. So here I'm just going to write print hello, and then I'm going to close the bracket and select enter, and you can see here that we've got a print statement. Anyway, I am just going to exit it and we're going to check the Python version. So Python space version, we're going to check the version. You can see that my version is 3.12.1. And next, I'm going to find where this Python executable file is. So I'm going to type Python space what. And you can see here that, one second, Python where. So it says it cannot open the file. Okay, but let me just try to navigate and get the file later on. Okay, so now the most important thing is that Python has been downloaded, and here you can access the Python terminal. All right, next up, what we're going to do is we are going to look into the next slide. So everyone, here we have successfully downloaded Python, okay? And we have seen a demo of how we can download Python on Windows. All you have to do is you have to navigate to Python download, click on the latest version, and then after that, after installation, and also make sure that you're selecting add to path. And after that, you are supposed to just install it. And after you install it, you can run your command prompt. And then in your command prompt, you can just check the Python version and check if Python was installed or not. Next up is choosing an IDE. So everyone, programmers use something called as an IDE. Okay, it is called as integrated development environment. So what is this integrated development environment? It is where they write programs. It's just like a text editor, like Word or Notes or whatever. So the reason why we don't use Word is because IDEs have features that help you write faster and better code. Like for example, it has something called as an auto completion. So most IDEs, that know the language you're typing in, so they will and also it helps you complete your code, for you. So it can actually tell you when you make mistakes. It shows you, how to write clean code. And it also offers a lot of other features that a normal text editor like Note or Word wouldn't, right? And also there are multiple different IDEs that are available. So there is PyCharm, there is Jupyter Notebook, there's Spider, there's Atom, there's Eclipse, there's Visual Studio Code, and there's also Anaconda. So now let's take a look at, or just get a brief about what are all of these different IDEs. So starting off with PyCharm. So PyCharm supports platforms like Windows, Linux, Mac. So it provides like a smart platform developers who help them when it comes to auto completion, error detection, fixing bugs, etc. So it provides multiple framework support by increasing a lot of cost saving factor. But there are a few disadvantages with it. So every IDE comes with its own advantages and disadvantages. It's a little bit of an expensive tool, and whenever you are installing it, it hangs up sometimes. Okay, so those two are its disadvantages. But if you want to download it, there's a free version, there's a paid version. You can navigate to PyCharm website and you will be able to find it. Next up, we also have different IDEs like Spider, Atom, Eclipse. Let's discuss about Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so Jupyter Notebook was formerly known as it was formerly known as IPython Notebook. And Jupyter Notebook is a web application that allows you to run live code, embed visualization, and even explanatory code in one place. So you have like a live coding page, which is very interactive. You can have visualizations like tables, graphs, embedded YouTube videos. It has a very rich text for visualization. You can have an open source editor. Also, it is very interactive, it is beginner friendly, and it is extensively used for data analysis. Next up, we have Visual Studio Code. So Visual Studio Code is another IDE which is free, open source, okay, and it is and the editor is a Microsoft with a very powerful extension. It has advantages like it supports multiple different programming language. It is cross-platform. It helps you with debugging. It has extensions, n number of extension. It has repositories. It supports a web. The most common languages that it supports is C Sharp, Visual Basic, JavaScript, R, XML, Python, CSS, etc. Also, we have Anaconda. So Anaconda basically simplifies packages and environment, okay, for data analysis and scientific computing. So it has a powerful package manager called as Conda, and it also has pre-installed data science libraries, and it is cross-platform compatible. So we are going to be using Anaconda to use our different IDEs. So let's see how you can install Anaconda and Jupyter. So everyone, what you need to do is, I'm just going to share my screen again. So you need to, if you want to download Anaconda, you need to visit the Anaconda download page. Okay, so once you navigate to the Anaconda download page, please click on it, and then here you can select the appropriate version for your operating system. So when you're going to click on it, it helps you download it. Okay, so it's recommended you select the Python version. Usually the latest version is recommended. You need to click on this download button to download the Anaconda installation, Anaconda application. And then once it is installed, okay, or once it is downloaded, you can run the installation process. So once you run the installation process, okay, let me just show you. All you have to do is just click on install and it will be good to go. And let me just quickly show you how it looks like. So everyone is just loading. Just give me a minute. So everyone, as you can see here, this is the Anaconda navigator. So here, as you can see, that in the home page, multiple different IDEs are available once the Anaconda has been downloaded. Once you launch the application, this is how it's going to look like. The steps are very simple. All you need to do is click on next and then select install, and it will launch. And you can see here that there are multiple different IDEs that are available. Okay, like Jupyter Notebook, there is VS Code, etc. So what you can do is you can just click on any of the IDEs that you're comfortable with working on and you can go ahead and work with them. But here we are going to be working with Jupyter Notebook. So I'm going to click on launch and this particular application will be launched. Let's just Yes, so everyone, this is how it looks like. You can see here that once I clicked on launch here, it will open in my web browser. You can select your preferred web browser. And once you have selected your web browser here, you will be able to see the different folders, okay, that you were working with, or you can even create new folders here. Okay, let me just show you one example. So this is an example. So what we will do is we will get into the details of how we can run these codes here, etc. But this is how it looks like. Okay, it has different cells, and you can add code in it, and then you can run them. All right. So what we will do is we will just run our very first code, which is hello world. So I'm just going to type print and type hello world. And then we're going to run it. And you can see here, this is our output, which is hello world. So this is how a Jupyter notebook looks like. So navigating back to our slide, okay, so this is how you can install Anaconda and also Jupyter notebook in your local systems. Also, what is a Jupyter Notebook? So everyone, Jupyter Notebook is a web-based interactive computing environment, which is widely used for data analysis, scientific computing, and even machine, learning. So there are some key features, okay, related to why we are using Jupyter Notebook, for data analysis. The first one is that it has a very interactive computing. So Jupyter Notebook allows users to write as well as execute code in smaller chunks, which is called as cells. You can see here this is a cell, and also it supports multiple different languages. It supports languages like R, Julia, and Scala. Okay, this flexibility makes it very versatile tool for different data analysis tasks as well as preferences based on its complexity. It has a very rich text support. It supports data visualization. Also, It helps you to easily share files. Okay, like so Jupyter Notebook can easily be shared with others. They can even be exported in different formats, including HTML, PDFs, slideshows, making it very simple to communicate. Also, it supports data exploration, integration with big data tools, and also it can be used for educational purpose, as well as it is open source and it has a wide community support. Now, moving ahead, so everyone, we're going to just cover the basics today of variables. Okay, so firstly, a variable is basically a symbolic name which is given to a memory location where the data is stored. So it acts as a reference to that location, making it easier for the programmers to work with data. Also about storage location, where when you create a variable in Python, you are essentially allocating memory to the stored data. So the variable name is like a reference to the memory location where the data is stored. Also, you can assign, okay, value assignment is you can assign a value to a variable, and it is done using the assignment operator. Assignment operator is nothing but an equal symbol. Okay, so here you can see that this is an example. This is the first example of creating a variable. So you can see that I have given name, and I have I've not used any keywords. I've just given one variable name here. This is the assigning operator, and a value. This is our variable value. And this is also variable name, assigning operator, value. Variable naming rules. There are a few rules, a few that I would like to mention is that it cannot start off with a number, but it can start with all alphanumerical characters and an underscore. It cannot have a space. Um, it cannot, uh, it cannot have any other special characters apart from an underscore. So you can see here that it starts off with a name, and an underscore is there. It starts off with an underscore also, but if you try to start off with a number, you'll get an error. Also, assigning values, here I'm assigning score to 90, the pi value as 3.14. Different data types. So about different data types, so Python is a dynamically typed about data types. So it has different data types like integer, float, string, boolean value. Integers are numbers, okay, positive and negative whole numbers. Float are basically float. They have a floating point. Strings are basically anything enclosed in a double quote or a single quote. Boolean values are either true or false. Next, we have dynamically typed. So dynamically typed means that it allows you to reassign variables to different data types. Basically, you can see here that I have given a name which is called as dynamic underscore variable equals 42, and then I'm printing it. Value is 42. Again, I'm using the same variable name, and I'm just, what I'm trying to do here is I am changing its value. Okay, I'm reassigning the value to our variable, and then again, so basically here the dynamic underscore variable has been updated, okay, to hello, and again we have printed it. Lastly, objects, you can also have objects that can be changed after the creation, and you can have objects that cannot be changed after the creation. For example, tuple is like a classic example of uh, immutable type or immutable object in Python, whereas list, set, and dictionary are all mutable. Next up, we have a list. So everyone, list is a built-in data type, okay, that represents an ordered collection of items, and each item in a list is identified by index, and the items can be of different data types. Now, first thing, let's understand the code given here, so you can understand better about a list. So if you want to create a list, it is denoted using a square bracket. It supports all different data types like numbers, integers, uh, float values, strings, and even Boolean values. How you can access a list is using an index number. Also remember that the index number always starts from 0. Also, if you want to modify any element or replace any element, you have to give the name of the list. Then you have to give the index number and give the value that you want to update it with. And then it will be updated. So you can see here that I have given list 1. So 01, which is the value is 2. So I want to replace 2 with banana. So this is the form, this is the syntax I use, and you can see the output. If you want to add elements, you have or remove elements, you have to use methods. There are different methods like append, insert, remove, clear, pop, etc. So these are all different methods that can be used to access a list. So here we have, firstly, it is mutable. Mutable meaning that you can modify the elements, like, you can add, remove, or change items. Then it is ordered, meaning that the order in which you create a list, it will remain the same. Heterogeneous elements means that the list can contain elements of different data type, like integer, string, float, or any other object. Zero-based indexing means that the index number always starts from zero. Dynamic meaning that it allows you for addition or as well as the removal of different data of different elements from the list. Next up, we have a tuple. So tuple is another built-in, data type which is similar to a list, but with some key differences. So a tuple is an ordered collection of element, and like list, it can contain elements of different data type. So here is an example. So you can create a tuple using a variable name. You can have any variable name, given assigning operator, which is an equal symbol. Then here you can see that we have given multiple different elements, and always remember that a list is denoted using a square bracket, a tuple is denoted using parentheses. Next, how can you access the elements again using index number? You cannot add or remove elements in a tuple after they have been created, and you can add two different tuples, and then you can create one tuple. So a few characteristics: it is immutable, meaning that it cannot be changed. They are ordered, meaning that however you are going to create a list, the order will remain the same. And then you can have different data types. And lastly, it has zero-based indexing, meaning that the index number starts from zero. Next up, we have a set. So set is another built-in data type that represents an unordered collection of unique elements. So this again is mutable. This is unordered. Set is to not maintain the order of elements. Unlike list or tuples, it has unique elements, meaning that it does not allow duplication. It has no indexing, but it sets in Python, support various mathematical set operations such as union, intersection, difference, symmetric difference, etc. And all of this can be applied using different methods. So you can see here we have created a list using a curly bracket. You can have multiple different data types. You can add a list, you can add a set, remove elements from a set. So all of this can be done using different methods. Okay, so here we have mentioned only add and remove. There are multiple different methods that can be used. You can even perform set operations like, union, intersection, and difference. So these are all different methods. All you have to do is you have to give the name of the set followed by the method that you want to use, and then give the name of the other set. And you can also print all of these. Next up here, we have a dictionary. Now, in Python, a dictionary, a dictionary is also a built-in data type that represents an unordered collection of key value pairs. So, dictionaries consist of these key value pairs. So, each key in a dictionary is unique. You can see her name, age, and city are the keys, which will be before the colon. Okay, and John, 25, and New York are the values associated to it. So dictionaries are mutable, meaning that you can add as well as you can modify all of these, or even remove a key value pair after the dictionary has been created. Okay, so this makes a dictionary very flexible and a dynamic data structure. Also, they are unordered. So also they are dynamic. Okay. Uh, Also, what you can do is you can even access values by key. So what you can do is you can, let's firstly see here, we have created a dictionary using a variable name assignment operator, and you have to give a curly bracket. Also, every key should have a value. You can see there's a key and a value pair. How you can access values by key is that you have to give the name of the dictionary, give a square bracket, and then give a key in single quotes or double quotes. You can modify it using the dictionary name, give the key, and then modify its value. You can even add new key value pairs by giving the name of the dictionary, giving a new key value pair. How you can remove it is using the DEL method or the discard method. You can also iterate the dictionary using a method which is called as item, that is going to return you a list of, it's actually going to return you a list with a tuple as a key and a value pair. And then next up we have looping. So everyone, looping statements, okay, is typically used for iterating over a sequence or repeating a specific block of code. So let's look at the syntax, okay? So if you want to repeat something based on a condition, okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to use looping statements. There are two statements, for loop and while loop. So for loop here, let's discuss the syntax. You have to give the keyword for. This is the iterating variable. This variable name can be anything, and then you have to give a membership operator which is in, and the name of the sequence which it is going to iterate over, and then a block of code that has to be executed. Like for example here, I have a list which has apple, banana, and orange. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say for fruit in fruits, and then I'm going to print fruit. So what will happen is that fruit, which is an iterating variable, in the first loop is going to print apple, second loop banana, third loop orange. Then we have another, loop, which is the while loop. So here, if you see, whenever the Python interpreter comes at the end of the sequence, okay, this sequence can be anything. It can be a list, tuple, string, etc. So when it's going to come at the end, the looping is going to stop. When you look at the while loop, it is going to continue, or it is going to enter into an infinite loop if the condition does not become false. So for a while loop to work, you can see here the syntax is while and a condition. If this condition is true, then this code will be executed. Okay. So if this condition is false, it will not execute. So always we try to create a counter so that it does not enter into an infinite loop. Next, we have an if statement. What is an if statement? So if statements are used to execute a block of code based on a specific condition. Okay, so the syntax is also, everyone, please remember that there's a very crucial thing. So all of these, the looping statements as well as the conditional statements, are nothing but control statements in Python. All of them end with a colon. Okay, while ends with a colon, for loop ends with a colon, if ends with a colon. Okay, so the if statement here, you give the if statement, then you give the condition that if it is true, only if it is true, this code will be executed. X equals to 10. X is greater than 5. This condition is true. Hence, your output will be X is greater than 5. There is also another if statements like, else if and else. So what is else if? You can have multiple. So here, if you see, okay, the if statement has a condition. If you want to add multiple different conditions, you have to introduce else if. But if you are like, okay, everything else is false, then what you need to do is in that case, the else statement is going to run. So if you want to add multiple different conditions, use else if. And if all of these conditions are false, then else the code, else block of code will be executed. So here you can see the score is 85. So if the score is greater than or equal to 90, grade A will be printed. This is false. Again, score is greater than or it is greater than or equal to 80. So 85 is greater than uh, 80. So the output would be grade 2. So everyone, this is it for our very first module. So I would like to thank you all for participate for basically completing this entire module, and also looking into the installation process. So Everyone, that is it for our very first module, and we have completed the agenda for our introduction to Python module. We've looked into Python introduction, installation of Python, and looking into variables, collections of variables, looping statement, and conditional statements. So thank you, everyone. If anyone has any doubts, please do let me know.